Hi Flosstube, welcome back to my channel. If you're returning, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, which you may perhaps be, because I am filming my mid-year WIP parade. And listen, there are some organized WIP parades out there. Mine is not going to be that. Let me tell you what a WIP is. A WIP is a work in progress. This channel is about cross stitch. And my name is Cameron. I go by Cam the Stitcher here on Flosstube and on Instagram. And if you're just finding my channel via this video, hi, I'm 28 years old. I live near the DC area in Virginia. I have a one-bedroom apartment where I film these silly little videos and I talk about my cross stitch. I've been stitching since probably 2014, since I was in college, and I in about 2021 discovered Flosstube and found so many new things, and it opened up an entire new world to me. So I have acquired quite a bit of things. I have started many things, I have finished many things, and I have also tossed away a couple things that were no longer serving me. So the point of this video is I'm going to take you through just all of my current WIPs. Now, I am not going to go in any order. Usually I'll go in like oldest to newest, but really I have a pile of project bags next to me on this couch. I'm just going to pick one from the top, show you, tell you about it, maybe tell you a few stats. I do use Notion. It's an app, or you can use it on a browser on a website, and I use the Stitching a T cross stitch template for my Notion, and it keeps track of all of my things. So I track how many stitches I do each day. I track when I started the project, when I finish it, what percent it's at, all that stuff. So I'll take you through a couple of those things. Other than that, I don't really talk about I don't do life updates really, but if you like cats, you might also like my channel. I have a 3-year-old cat named Vindaloo. She's a little gray baby girl. I'll pop some pictures up. She may make an appearance. I don't know how long this is going to take me to film. We will see. But I have some iced coffee. I have some water to hold me down, and grab a drink, grab a snack, get settled in, because I feel like this is going to take a while. So at the beginning of the year, I did film a WIP parade. I don't remember what my WIP count was. I'll try to pop it up here if I find it. I think it was in the 60s. Now, disclaimer, and I say this on all my WIP parades, if you have a problem with how many WIPs that I have, keep those thoughts and feelings to yourself. Do not comment down below, do not email me, and do not DM me. I'm not interested in hearing about what you think about how many WIPs I have. Putting that out there, drawing that boundary. Life is so short, and I like what I do. This is a hobby, this is fun. I put out these videos because it's fun, and I know people like to see all the WIPs, and if you don't have to watch a WIP parade. So with that nice hard drawn boundary I just did, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm literally gonna grab just this top bag and we're gonna go. So this is, I don't remember where I don't really show my project bags, but this is a lovely one that I got from an Etsy shop that I don't remember the name of. I think it's like Joanna 66 or something like that on Etsy. Let's see what's in here, because I don't have enough project bags for the amount of projects I have. So that's the other thing. I'm not even physically organized. Digitally super organized. Physically, not a chance. I'm hoping to solve that this year or next year in getting enough project bags, but we'll see. Okay, so this is housing like a bunch of my smaller projects. So let's just start with this one. None of these are ironed. Also, if you have thoughts and feelings about that, keep them to yourselves. But this is the easiest and most stress-free way I can do this at the moment. And I need to preserve that for myself at the moment. So I will show you the first project. This is Black Butterfly Sampler by the Shaded Stitchery. I am stitching this on a very fun fabric. This is called Razzmatazz by Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers, and this is a 40 count. Now, the last time you guys saw this, it had almost no progress, but I have since worked on it in the past couple weeks. I haven't shown it on a regular Flosstube update. As you will see, you can see this wing is going into the border. That is not how it is charted. I made a mistake somewhere. I can't figure out where I made said mistake, so I'm gonna keep going because I need to keep going. This is stitched in 2 colors. I chose a Color and Cotton for this lighter shade. It looks white, and honestly, in person it looks white, but it is like a really light lavender color. And then this darker color is a Gloriana silk that one of my viewers sent me a long time ago. I think it's called Aubergine. It is in here, thankfully. That's not always the case. Yes, this is called Aubergine, and it's this really deep eggplant, purple. It's slightly variegated, and you can kind of see it. You can definitely see it like in person in the light with this. Yeah, you can see it right there. It's so gorgeous. So this is a really small pattern. I'm hoping to finish this, hopefully this year. So you will see it again, but yeah, first project. All right, next project I'm gonna show you. This is also a small that I started this year. This is Cross Stitch Makes Everything Okayer by Lucy Beam. And let me see where I'm at on these. So the Black Butterfly Sampler that I just showed you, I'm at 25.2% complete on that, which is pretty good. And then Cross Stitch Makes Everything Okayer by Lucy Beam, I am at 45.8% on this. I have less than 1,500 stitches left. This is definitely super wrinkled. I am stitching this on a 40 count piece of Bestitch Me linen in the color Ledger. And I just picked my own threads from Stash of Color and Cotton, of course. That's gonna be a lot of what I say. It's gonna just, DMC or picked from my Color and Cotton stash is usually what I'm saying. Yeah, so this will definitely be a finish this year. I literally, again, I have less than 1,500 stitches left, so I could probably complete this in like 3 stitchy sessions or less if I really focus on it. I started this for my friend Bridget, the museum stitcher, her birthday this past year in March. Okay, the next WIP I'm gonna show you, this is Good Intentions by Kathy Barrick. I did start this year as well. I'm at 16.7% complete on this. And I am stitching this on 36 count aged paper linen. I think it's by Color and Cotton. And that is where I'm at. I have recently worked on this, and I'm just doing this from Stash. Let me show you some of the colors. I had a comment, maybe not last video, but the video before that, about my colors on this. Let me see if I have that. Okay, so one of them, this beautiful teal color that I'm doing for the majority of the piece. This is Abyss by Color and Cotton. This is one of my favorite colors ever. Then I am using Mossy by Classic Colorworks for the green. And I'm using, this is a new color by Gentle Arts. This is called Dragon Fruit. You can see it's literally like, yeah, perfect. And then I'm using like a couple of Stash browns. I think I'm using Peanuts by Color and Cotton for the spools. And what else? Oh, I'm using Black Crow by Gentle Arts for this navy blue that looks almost black, but in person it's definitely blue. And I think that's it. And then I'm just using like some DMC for like the smaller details. This is my cat, Vindaloo. I used my friend Maddie's recharting for the cat. It's originally a dog. If you want that rechart from her, you can DM her on Instagram. Her name is Kitty Stitch on Instagram. So yeah, and I used DMC, I think Vindaloo's perfect color is DMC 844, if I'm remembering correctly. So yeah, when I pull this out, like I love working on it so much. Most of my stitchy friends here on Flosstube have this complete, or it's very close to a finish. And so I was the last one to start it. And I would really like to get that done this year or next year, hopefully. Okay, the next few WIPs I'm going to show you, these are also all new starts from this year. So the first one I will show you, this is a pattern by the Blue Flower. It is from Just Cross Stitch Magazine, October 2023, I think, or 2022, one of those. 2023, I'm pretty sure. This is called Starry Moth, and I'm at 23.4% complete on this. It's a very small pattern. I am not stitching the border as well, so that is a factor. And I'm stitching this on a piece of, I think, 18 or 16 count Ada, gifted to me as well. So that's looking good. I only worked on this for literally one day, so it needs more work, but I'm just doing the call for DMC. Nothing crazy. So that is that. And then this one is this one's a UFO / a new start. At the beginning of the year, I started Modern Folk Embroidery's 2024 yearly stitch along. I join them every time and I don't do them. I don't complete them. I don't get enough progress on them. And as much as I loved the colors that I picked for this is as far as I got. I was not drawn to pick this up and stitch on it at all. So what I did was, my friend Maddie from Kitty Stitch, her birthday was last week or the week before, I can't remember. Nope, last week. And she wanted to start Turkish Delight by Rosewood Manor. I have oohed and awed and thought about what I would want to do for this. I love the look of this. However, I'm not like the biggest blue person. It's not like my favorite color. And also I don't want to do the called for. It's all charted in weeks and I didn't want to do that. So I decided to pull my own conversion of DMC, and I did start this last week on the other tail end of this. This is 36 count Raspberry by Fiber on a Whim. And that is my very, very teeny tiny start on one of the biggest patterns out there. So I did stick with the general vibe of Turkish Delight in terms of the colors, but I definitely went in a couple of different directions on some of the colors. So I don't have them like all on a ring to show you, but I'm trying to, let's see if I can grab some of these. This is so messy. Is that helpful? Does that give you a good idea? Yeah, it didn't. But anyways, maybe I will get myself together and take a picture of this with the conversion. And if anyone's interested, I can provide that conversion, of course. So that is a brand new start that has not seen the day of light on this channel. And then this is, I might UFO this. The reason I might UFO this is because my sister, her name's Hannah, she cross stitches as well, but she is a very busy gal and doesn't hyperfixate on it as much as I do. So she took like a big long break from stitching, But like when she was not stitching, she saw a picture of this pattern. It's the Pickle Sampler by Owl Forest Embroidery. If you're familiar with Marjorie Maid, she also has this as a WIP, and it's literally a sampler of pickles. It's exactly what it sounds like. And my sister was like, oh my God, I want this. And I was like, you should start it. And she was like, what if you stitch it for me? And I was like, ugh. And so I was like, sure, but you know, whatever. Well, I started it. Look how teeny tiny of a start this is. But she just recently got back into stitching, like literally in the past month. So I may pass this along to her. Now, she's never worked on linen before, so it would be a learning curve, but I think that I could totally teach her, and she can get the hang of it, and she should adopt this WIP for me. She doesn't watch this channel, so I'm going to mayhaps slide this over to her. So this is an active, in the moment UFO, and we love to see it. And all of those were living in this beautiful project bag by Sheba Designs. She's definitely my favorite project bag maker. I don't buy a lot of project bags. I do make quite a few. Every once in a while I like to treat myself to a Sheba Designs bag. Okay, this WIP I have not actually worked on at all, but I adapted it, so I'm going to show it. This is in the bag that my friend Maddie gifted me at StitchCon, and this is the Garden Sampler by Carriage House Samplings. I have this. So I adopted this WIP from my friend Bridget and the Museum Stitcher. I'd been oohing and awing over it, and then Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch started it at StitchCon, and I was like, oh, I want to stitch that so bad. Not a gardener. Again, one bedroom apartment, don't have a garden. But why not bring the garden inside and put it on my wall, right? She is stitching this on a 20 count fiber on a whim. What is it called? I always forget this. Pure Dough. It has about 10,000 stitches left. Fun fact. She did a solid bit on this. It's at 13.5%, she told me. So I have adopted this. I have not worked on it yet. She did send me the pattern, and then she sent me all this. She's doing the Roxy Flosco conversion. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna completely stitch all of this and then send her back all of her threads so that she can have this in stash. And of course, with 20 count, I'm only doing one strand over one square, and I'm really excited to work on this. Okay, the next WIP I'm gonna show you, this is an ongoing stitch along / challenge / sprint to finish all of the Hello from Liz Matthews Days of Christmas trees for me. My friend Bridget and I, the Museum Stitcher, we are doing the Days of Christmas. We're trying to complete one day or one pattern project every other month. And we are on the 4th day of Christmas. We are taking an extra month on this one because while mine is almost done, I haven't shown this in a while, so this is like has a lot of progress on it. I am almost done. I'm at 59.9% complete, which sounds crazy because it looks like so much more, but I do still have the fill-in on this bird. You can see there's like a design in there. So I have all that fill-in, and then I have the bottom border and a couple of more things down here. The word world. But she is stitching all of the samplers, and this one for the 4th day of Christmas is like the most stitches for her for the sampler, versus for me it was one of the least amount of stitches. So we're taking 3 months for this for her, and then I'm actually just gonna take a break. I'm obviously gonna finish this within the next week or so, and then I'm actually just gonna take a break before I start the 5th day of Christmas, and I want to start that with her so we can keep on pace. So anyways, this is gorgeous. This is stitched on 36 count parchment by Fiber on a Whim. I'm stitching them all in different colors, all with one strand of DMC. And yeah, very pretty. This will be done very soon, so that's exciting. All right, the next WIP I'm going to show you, we're going away from newer WIPs, not on purpose. Again, this is not in order of any kind. This is one of my oldest WIPs. This I started on June 1st of 2022. This was my pride start. This is called Move Forward in Love by Modern Folk Embroidery. I am stitching this on a piece of 18 count Ada by the Stitchy Ferret, and it's this gorgeous tie-dye rainbow situation. This is a labor of love. When I started this, I did it with 2 strands on this 18 count. Now this 18 count is hand dyed, and it's hard to pull 2 strands through it. And so now, of course, if I was able to go back in time, I would have just done 1 strand and it would have gone a lot faster. But I'm just a really slow stitcher on this particular piece at the moment. But I have worked on it, and I did work on it in June quite a bit. I'm trying to get this done. I'm at 81.4% complete, which I don't know how accurate that is because I did swap out the middle part for this instead. But to put that in perspective, I have less than 1,500 stitches left on this. So I really want it done and in a frame. So yeah, this will be done this year. I promise. It is not going into 2025. That will not be happening. Okay, I have 3 projects in this bag. This is just a bag that I made myself. The first one I'm going to show you is one of my older WIPs. This was started in March 1st of 2022. This is the Raccoon by Cottage Garden Samplings. Funny story with this one, I showed it in a WIP parade and then I lost it, and so I went ahead and UFO'd it. I literally couldn't find it, and then right before filming my next WIP parade the following year, I found it again, so I added it back to my list. I have since not lost it again, thankfully, but let me show you my progress. Of course, I have a hanging thread. This is where I'm at. I've done a little bit on this one this year, not a whole lot. This is stitched on 36 count Heritage, I think, by Picture This Plus. And I'm just doing the called for threads. So it's looking good. I would love to finish this. This was originally supposed to be a gift for my sister, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to let go of this because after all of that, these are no joke. Cottage Garden Samplings, you look at them, you're like, oh, I can fit it. Those are small. They're not small. This is only 100 stitches by 130. However, all of this is so much stitching. So anyways, I hopefully will have this finished next year would be great. I am not delusional enough to think I would finish it this year, but yeah. And then on the other side of this fabric, I have Strawberry Harvest, also by I always trip myself up on this. Cottage Garden Samplings. I started this in 2023 on January 2nd. And I'm doing all the called fors. This is stitched on the exact same fabric on the other side. This was a restart this year. I didn't change the date of when I started it because I had such little progress on it. So I kept this as a start from 2023. You make your own rules, you know what I mean? But this is looking great. This is already so much more than what I had. I still have the original start in here. I had started it on 40 count Ancient, which is the called for, and that's all I got to. I don't like stitching on 40 count Picture This Plus, and that's just something I've learned about myself, so I restarted it on a 36, and it's going so much faster. So yeah, those are 2 of my little cottage garden animals. And then the next WIP, this is one of my favorites. I just recently worked on this. So this is the Birdman Cometh by Little Robin Designs. I also started this in 2023 on June 21st. And I'm at 20 complete on this. I'm stitching this on 20 count Ada by Fiber on a Whim in the color Lipstick. And this is where I'm at. So I worked on this quite a bit last week, I think, or the week, I don't remember. But I had like stitched all of this and it was all this white and it was all wrong. And so I had to frog it. I was gonna fudge it and then I couldn't. I just couldn't. So I frogged it all out and redid it. And so that is the end. And then we'll put the line down, the other border here. But I went ahead and took a break from border and went in here and stitched on this tree. So it looks so good. I can't wait to have this finished. I'm obsessed with 20 count Ada. I've also been humming and hawing. I don't know what I was about to say. Obviously this is like a nice piece of 20 count. So I'm thinking about putting A Study in Nature by the Artsy Housewife on the other side of this, because I'm loving, if you guys want to see a beautiful WIP of A Study in Nature on a bright piece of red fabric, check out the Thread Gremlins. I believe it is, yes, Caroline, who is stitching A Study in Nature on a piece of fabric she dyed herself, and it is like brighter than this. This definitely like leans a bit pink, like a warm pink, but it is red. It's just, you know, it's a little bit more subdued, but this is a bright fabric, so I think I'm gonna stitch it on this, you know, after I finish the 1,200 other projects I have. All right, let's get into a Christmas WIP here. I have this in one of these big Amazon bags because it's a big WIP. You can see a lot of colors happening. This is my, I call it Hannah's stocking because I'm stitching it for my sister. This is one of those stockings from Cooler Design Studios. If you're familiar with Hello from Liz Matthews or Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, they both are stitching some of these / have stitched some of these. I'm stitching the one that is like the kitchen scene, and that is where I'm at. I started it September 20th of 2023. And I only worked on this for like 3 stitchy sessions and I'm already at 21.1%. I'm stitching this on a 25 count Lugana in the colorway Potato. It's got like little speckles in it, and I'm stitching it with the called for DMC with 3 strands. All right, the next WIP I'm gonna show you, this is, I started this on July 1st of 2023. I think it was a stitch along at some point. This is Every Opening Flower by With Thy Needle and Thread. And I pulled all from Stash for the overdyes. And I'm stitching this on 40 count Ledger by Bestitch Me. That same yellow and blue fabric. Yeah. This was also a restart for me at the very tail end of last year because I had started up here. That's the saddest start you've ever seen. And I decided that I should start in the middle and try to get down to that house first, which I think was the right idea. However, I am going pretty slow on this. I'm only at 7.7% complete on this. My goal for all of my WIPs this year is to get them to at least 10%. So, I need to pull this out again at some point. We'll see. But yeah, just 1 strand over 40 count. And again, I just have a bunch of color and cottons pulled. I definitely shortened the colors, the list of colors you need for this. Some of the colors that she calls for are just in like the wings of these bees. So just be like, look at your pattern. I'm just gonna use like DMC for this section. And then for everything else, I have pulled some overdyes. Okay, this is one of my favorite WIPs, one of my oldest WIPs, and I had a goal to get this done last year and it just didn't happen. I would love to get this done this year, but I don't want to hold myself to that. We'll see. It is Cryptids by the Witchy Stitcher. This was a stitch along back in 2022. I started it on January, or maybe 2021. I don't remember. I started this January 26th of 2022. This is sitting at 66.1% complete. It feels like I have more done than I do, but I don't. So this is stitched on, oh, I have a needle, 28 count natural linen. The first thing I did was I completed the whole frame, which I did mess up somewhere, but it doesn't matter now. And then I started going in and completing one creature at a time. Oh, that's just a linen thread there. So yeah, I really only worked on, I think, 2 creatures this year. I would love to get this done. I really need to focus in on this, I think, for like this Halloween season, which that starts July 5th for me. So it goes all the way until October 31st. And then November 1st at midnight, Christmas comes out. Okay, so this project bag used to house my Love Bug Sampler by Sprouting Lupine, but I finished that this year. So in it now is my Beatrix Potter. This needs some love and attention, but don't worry, I have plans for next year. So this is Beatrix Potter Quaker by Stitchy Box Samplers. I started this January 30th of 2023. It is only sitting at 6.4% complete. I have about 20,000 stitches left. However, it's okay. I haven't touched this year, but let me show it. Anyways, I think this is the way it goes. Yes. This is 40 count Peony by Fiber on a Whim. I'm stitching this with the with Dinky Dye's Pink Tourmaline. It is so folded up because I haven't touched it in so long. Which sucks because I was so excited about this color combo that I dreamt up. So this is the Dinky Dyes. It is hot, hot pink, but when you put it on this beautiful rosy peony pink, it's subtle. If that, you know, like it, yes, it's still hot pink and it still is what it is, but I love how subtle this looks. I know that it's not subtle to most people, but I love it. My friend Maddie from Kitty Stitch did the round robin that we completed this year. She did hers in this color combo, and it is all finished and gorgeous, and it has motivated me. I have plans for this next year. This is going to be my monthly goal. Like, you know, I'm going to work on it every single month until it's done next year. So that's exciting. I believe that Bridgen, the museum stitcher, will also be doing her Beatrix Potter as well for her monthly goals. But, you know, we still have quite a few months before January, so plans may change, but okay, this is, I haven't worked on this since I started it. This was like my new year, new start situation. This is The Colors of Mexico by Jan Hicks Creates. I started this December 31st of 2023. I am stitching it with the Vicky Clayton silks, which these are the first Vicky Clayton silks I ever have worked with or bought. They're gorgeous. I mean, come on. Are you kidding? Those colors are so unreal. Why have I not worked on this? Okay. This I'm stitching on 40 count lightly roasted, not salted by Bestitch Me. And I have such a small start. So I really need to work on this. yeah, I need to work on this. It's gorgeous. I'm probably less than 1% complete on this. That's how sad of a start this is. So I'm definitely gonna get it to 10% at the very least by the end of the year. But yeah, ridiculous. It happens. It happens. We call that a sad, sad start. This next WIP, this is Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. I also started this last year on October 4th. And I have not gotten a lot of progress on this. I don't know why. It just doesn't call to me, to be quite honest. This is, I think, 36 count parchment by Fiber on a Whim. This is such a good, like, greeny gold. And that is all I've gotten done. I'm stitching this with some of the called for, like, gentle arts, and then just, like, again, a random smattering of just overdyes. This is a Cottage Garden Threads that I'm using for the border, and then I'm using 310 for the other part of the border, so you can kind of see the contrast in that. I'm using some Forbidden Fiber Co. I think these are two of the called for gentle arts. I'm using this Color and Cotton Gold, and then this Color and Cotton Orange, and then 310. I don't know. I need to work on this. I would like to get it to 10%. I think it's just a lot of dark colors, and I haven't, like, gotten to the fun bits yet, so to speak. And so I think that's why I'm just, like, not moving on that. My next WIP, this is in the very first Sheba Designs bag that I ever purchased for myself. It's still one of my favorites. This is such a good, I have needle minders in here. See, now this is just fun. I forgot I had these. Oh my God. I need to get it together. This is Autumn Cloche by Hello from Liz Matthews. I have not worked on this year, but it is about to get a lot of love because I love this. This is 36 count Fiber on a Whim Affogato, I believe. And I'm stitching this with, again, a plethora of Color and Cotton overdyes that I picked myself, and then some of the DMC. So that's the vibe. This is probably, yeah, that's definitely the brightest color we got going on. And I actually have a decent amount of progress on this. Let me see how much I have done. I'm at 16.7% complete on this. I started this January 3rd of 2023. And this sat a long time last year with, like, no progress. So I did pull it out and give it a lot of love. And you can see I've started in on this huge pumpkin. So next time I pick this up, I'm gonna have to get a lot of that done. But 36 count with one strand is my sweet spot in terms of being a fast stitcher. That and 20 count Ada with one strand. So when I do pull this out, I do get quite a lot of progress. So I am excited. Okay, this is also a pit of shame for me. Good gosh. This isn't a project bag I made myself. This is Modern Folk Embroideries Stitch Along from 2022. No, 2023. I started this January 3rd. This is called Reaching Skyward. I've gone back and forth about UFOing this because I just know I have too much done on it. It's just so wintry to me, and, like, I don't want to work on wintry stuff all year. This is stitched on 40 count Billie Jean by Roxy Floss Co. And it is stitched with two different colors from Roxy Floss Co. I believe the brown is Charlie Brown, and the dark teal is Great Lakes. So that is one. I have not pulled this out since last year. It has gotten absolutely no love. I don't know. But you know what? Now that I have my new lighting set up, I think that I'll enjoy stitching on this way more than I did last year. Because even though this isn't like the darkest fabric ever, since it's 40 count, it is hard to stitch on. It's too gorgeous. It's fine. This is Halloween Quaker by Leela Studio. I started this September 5th of 2022. I'm stitching this on Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers Crepe Myrtle or something. And it's in a 40 count. Doing all the called for overdyes. Haven't touched this year. Yeah. This fabric is gorgeous though. My friend Elizabeth Frizzy Lizzy Stitches, she stitched her Haunted Library by Lola Crow on this fabric. And it's so pretty. Anyways, I am going to pull this out very soon, but alas. That is sitting at 10.9% complete though, so it is at 10%. My next project I'm going to show you, this was gifted to me by a lovely subscriber of mine. This is Sea Witch by Nora Corbett. I'm stitching this on the fabric that they sent me. She sent me 16 count Da Vinci Ada by Picture This Plus. And it is Gorgina. I need to pull this out because it's so pretty. And again, this was like one day of work. So I really have only stitched on this one day and I already got that much done. I do know, just based off looking at the chart, I'm definitely over 10% on this one. So that's good, but I definitely want to get more progress on it this year. So this will come out. This is like, I consider like a Halloween WIP, so to speak. So I cannot wait to stitch on her more. Obviously, I got the easy part done first, and the more voluminous part of her will take a lot longer, but I am still excited. This is a start from this year. This is My Flowers by Boomerang Stitches. I am sitting at 35.4% complete on this. So I have about 2,800 stitches left. I'm stitching this on a 40 count Atomic Ranch linen in the color, it's either the color limited edition or it was just an unnamed limited edition color. But it's this very light, like springy green. And I am, of course, stitching with Color and Cotton. I did stick pretty true to the original palette that was picked, but I went ahead and picked some Color and Cottons. This is so fun to stitch on. So again, I've only probably stitched on this maybe 3 times. So every time I stitch on it, like I get a good amount of progress. This is White Winter Moth by Kathy Barrick. I started this January 13th of 2023. Oh, here's the picture. There we go. This is gorgeous. I started this with my friend Megan, the Seattle Stitcher. This was our first stitch along that we ever did. And this is like, I would love to push for a finish on this year. But we'll see. This did just win my Pick-a-Whip vote. If you're not familiar, Pick-a-Whip is run by Marjorie Maid on Instagram and on Flosstube. She picked the prompt insects or bugs, I think, like a WIP with insects or bugs. And so I have several of those. So I went ahead and had an Instagram vote, and this one. This is stitched on 40 count Chai Love You by Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. I am stitching this with the paper pattern, so I have no idea what percentage I'm at, but I do obviously know that I'm way over 10%. I'm probably nearing 50%. Once I get the fill-in done on that wing, I have a feeling I'll definitely be at 50%, but sorry, this is so folded up. It's so pretty. I'm doing this with a over dyed conversion that I just did myself. It's got some Gentle Arts and some Classic Colorworks, and then I have one of the DMCs in here. My next WIP, this is another Cottage Garden Samplings little creature. I started this October 19th of 2023. This is the little brown bat. This one's definitely my favorite. Like, it's so good. I'm stitching this on 40 count Ancient by Pictures Plus. As much as I hate stitching on this fabric, I have too much progress on this to restart it, so I am going to keep going. But this is gorgeous. I know that I'm at least definitely over 10% on this already, but I definitely am going to get some more progress in on this fall. I need to actually, I might keep going all the way around for his other wing too, and then bring this to a retreat and do all that fill in with DMC 310. That's probably a smart thing to do. We'll see, but I love it. Okay, the next WIP I'm going to show you, this is Iron Maiden by D's 20 Stitches and Uncanny Kari. I love this WIP so much. I need to work on it. I'm stitching it with the called for Brennan needle and on the Brennan needle fabric. This is called Fizzy Pop. It's 36 count. So this is kind of hard to show. I started in the middle. I really need to pull this out. I started this on my birthday last year, September 28th of 2023. And then I'm most definitely sure I'm over 10% at least, probably not by much, but I think I have a ways to go, but it's not like the biggest WIP ever, so I do need to pull this out. Ugh, I love it. This fabric is just everything. My next WIP, ooh, haven't worked on this at all. This is Babushka's Blossoms by Plum Street Sampler. Ugh, I love this. I just have not worked on it. I am stitching this with some color and cotton, of course. And let's see, I started this October 7th of 2023. This is on a piece of 36 count Cocoa by Fiber on a Whim. And I'm at like definitely less than 10% on this. Such a sad start. I don't even know if this is the way it goes. Nope. Is it this way? I'm gonna guess it's this way. So I tried to sell myself on this of like, obviously this is a much darker linen than what it's called for. I don't know, should I restart this? Part of me thinks yes. I don't know. I mean, I think the pumpkin will pop, but like, and the white house will pop. I don't know. What do we think? I'm undecided on that one. Next WIP. This is also one of my oldest WIPs, and I'm not motivated to work on this. This is Dark Queen of the Earth by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I started this September 29th of 2022. Yeah, here we go. Stitched on 32 count something by Under the Sea Fabrics. It was one of the kitted up ones. I just don't want to stitch on this at all. I'm not motivated. I have so much done on it. I worked so hard on this head conversion, and now I'm stuck with having to stitch the rest of it, and I don't want to. So that's how I feel about it. I don't know what to do, but we'll see. Okay, this WIP I started on October 25th of 2023. This is Bella Filipina, Gaia the Earth Goddess. This was gifted to me by Kat from Whittier Stitches. I have not worked on this that much. I'm definitely way under 10%. This is one of those WIPs I don't think I'm gonna get to 10% by the end of the year, but we'll see. So this is where I'm at. I started in the middle. Yeah. This is stitched on a 32 count Coral Sands by Jackson Fabric Arts on Etsy. I don't know. This fabric is gorgeous. I need to pull this out. I think it's just so big that it's kind of overwhelming to me. And I've never stitched on a super big fancy lady before. So it feels like a little intimidating, but nothing wrong with that. Okay, this I started this year, March 22nd, 2024. This is Almir Leopard by Lindy Stitches. This is part of her endangered species club that I am in this year. I'm stitching this on the called for 32 count Silver Moon linen by Ace Weigart, and I have quite a bit of progress on this, and I would love to finish this up soon. I'm definitely not at 50% just because there's so much fill-in on him, but I bet I'm not that far away. I bet I'm like around 40% complete, just eyeballing. I have started the fill-in on his arm, like the white underbelly side of him a bit, but I think next time I pick this up, I want to finish out this fill-in of this rock and then start on the tree that he's sitting on, and then finish out the rest of these doodads, and then I'm just gonna go ham on filling the actual leopard in last. Oh, he looks amazing though. I was originally gonna stitch all of these on the same piece of fabric, but I'm now having thoughts otherwise, and I might stitch them, well, like I will still stitch them on the same fabric, but I will not like frame them together. I think I'm gonna do something else, but we'll see. Okay, this was also a start from this year. This I would call my market start. This is Caught in the Swirl by Kathy Barrick. Gorgeous. Love Kathy. I can't wait for market next year. I'm very excited. This is stitched on 40 count Bestitch Me in the color Lunar, and that is my progress. Eyeballing it, I'd say I'm definitely over 10% by a smidge, perhaps. We'll see. I'm definitely going to work on this more this year, so won't be a problem, but I love this so much. It's gorgeous. It's a lot of green stitching, but what I like to do is I like to do quite a few strands of green, and then I like to treat myself and get to one of these birds and stitch the bird and then go back to the green. Okay, my next WIP, this is Rose Quaker by Weinberg. I started this April 17th of 2023. I'm stitching this on 36 count Milk and Honey linen by Fiber on a Whim. I pulled my own conversion of Color and Cotton Stash. Gorge. I've added some greens instead of like the browns, but I still have browns in here. This is where I'm at. Slow going, but I'm at 11.5% on this. I still have about 25,000 stitches left on this WIP. But it's gorgeous, so that's fine. It's so pretty. Okay, so in this bag that I also made myself, I have, I think, 3 Halloween WIPs. The first one I'll show you, this is a released pattern now. You can get it from the Witchy Stitcher, but I have it in this Season of the Witch pattern book by Starlight Stitchery. Let me show you what it looks like. That is the pattern. And I am stitching this on actually the called for. It is Bestitch Me, what is it, Bronze Age? 40 count Bronze Age Bestitch Me linen, yes. And I have not pulled this out since last year, so that's where I'm at. I do love it. The back stitching on this gives it life. I really like it. I would love to finish this year, but you know, it is monochromatic and kind of boring to stitch on a little bit, if that makes sense. I started this August 13th of 2023. I'm sitting at 13.6%. So I have about 3,000 stitches left on this, which is really not that bad, but alas, I don't really want to stitch on it. This next WIP, this I started October 31st of 2023, so this was my Halloween start. This is called Boo Spook Haunt by Hello from Liz Matthews. This was one of her Patreon patterns. I don't believe it's been released. And I started this with my friend Bridget, the museum stitcher. I'm stitching this on a 40 count piece of Barnwood by Picture This Plus, and I'm sitting at 17.1% complete. And this was one night of stitching. So it's a very small pattern. I have about 4,200 stitches left on this. This fabric is so gorgeous. It's so purple in person. It's like a really beautiful purple brown. I want more of this, not 40 count, but I'd love it in a 36 count or some Ada, I think of it. It'd be lovely. I'm stitching it with DMC, and I'm doing a conversion by Bridget, and that is actually posted on her Instagram if you're curious. So cute. Okay, and then the last Halloween pattern I have in here in this bag, this is Plum Street Samplers Tomb with a View. I love the witches on that. This was a very quick start last year. It has a very sad start. I started this November 4th of 2023. And it's, oh gosh, I can tell you I'm not at 10% on this. I can tell you that. I just pulled from Stash, so I am working with, this is the Forbidden Fiber Co. This is the only color I have in there at the moment. I've got some color in cottons and a Gentle Arts. It's pretty. This is stitched on 40 count Duxbury by Fox and Rabbit. So pretty. All right, the next WIP, this is the Misspelled Sampler by Hemlock and Rye. I need to work on this so bad. I am using almost all of the called for classic, well, I'm using all the classic Colorworks, and then I replaced the 1 Weeks in it with this Color and Cotton. It is the most beautiful summer palette, and I love this sampler so much, and I need to stitch on it, but this is all I have done. And I, for the life of me, cannot remember what fabric this is. I know it's a Bestitch Me. I think it's Hot Cocoa in a 40 count, but you can't hold me to that, so. Okay, this is one of my oldest WIPs as well. This is Pandemic by Long Dog Sampler. Samplers, I should say. This I'm stitching on a piece of 22 count white Ada with DMC that I chose myself. I haven't worked on this in quite a while. I did get the PDF, so we're doing better. I'm at 10.1% complete on this, which is so funny. I was curious how much I had done on this and how, if I would have to like work on this a lot to get it to 10% this year, but it's already there, so that's good. And I'm just choosing, like, as I go, I'm just choosing where my DMC colors go. I don't have it pre-mapped out or anything, so yes, gorgeous, but it's just, again, it's just one of those huge pieces that I don't stitch on ever. The next WIP I have in here, this is by the Witchy Stitcher. I started this June 3rd, 2023. It's the Nostalgic Ouija board. This was a Patreon pattern. I don't know if it's available outside of Patreon, but of course this attracts every single piece of hair in this apartment. This is stitched on 18 count black Aida, and that's where I'm at. This is at 12.5% complete, but I still have like 6,700 stitches left on it. It is not a small pattern. This next WIP I started this year. I started this January 31st, 2024 for Carrie's birthday, Tiger Lily Designs. This is Anne Richardson by My Sister Samplers. Oh, this is so gorgeous. I've only worked on it like one day. This is on a piece of 40 count flannel flower by Fox and Rabbit. Oh my god, so pretty. I forgot how pretty this is. Why am I gonna cry? Look at how beautiful that is. Oh my lord, I need to work on this. Okay, I am stitching this with random floss that I have in my stash. Again, I have some silks in here, I have some cottons. Oh wow. Okay, well, that needs to be worked on. The next WIP I'm going to show you, this is one of my oldest WIPs and largest WIPs. This is Fruits of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. Oh, and I never stitch on this either. I started this February 15th of 2022, and I'm stitching this on 40 count blush linen by Zweigart. Oh my god. It's so pretty, and I just never work on it. Gorge. I'm stitching it with 2 different colors of DMC, and yeah, it is sitting at 14.5% complete. I still have about 40,000 stitches left. Okay, speaking of big ass projects, let's talk about my start from last year for Lauren, the New Hampshire Stitchers stitch along she did, called Back to School Sal. I believe that she'll be hosting it again this year. What I will not be doing is starting a BAP, but I will be working on the BAP that I started last year. This is Consider the Lilies by Heartstring Samplery. I saw the model of this at a at Dying to Stitch in Virginia Beach, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. Well, I bought it there, obviously. So, gosh, this is huge. It's quite big. Definitely nowhere near 10% on this, I'm sure. I'm stitching this on 40 count Winter Wren by Fox and Rabbit, and this is where I'm at. Oh god, it's so pretty. Look at that. This is the last thing I stitched on it. I mean, come on. Are you kidding? I'm obsessed. I'm absolutely obsessed. However, this is a labor of love. It is hard to stitch on 40 count this dark, but my lighting has definitely helped me a lot. So I need to pull this out again. It's so big. It's just so big. It's fine. I started this again September 1st of 2023, and it's probably got, I mean, I'm gonna reckon about 50,000 stitches. It has to. It's so big, but it's gorgeous, so who cares? Yeah. I love it. I am stitching it with the DMC, and I did rechart the quote, and I recharted the Adam and Eves to be little skeletons. If you're interested in that, You can DM me, email me, whatever. Okay, this is actually, I think, my oldest WIP. So this I started, I'm almost positive. This I started January 10th of 2022. Let me double check. Yep, this is the oldest WIP. So this is the Modern Folk Embroidery Stitch Along from 2022. It is a Dutch reproduction sampler. I am stitching this on a piece of 32 count white Zweigart linen that I tea-dyed myself. This was the first linen project I ever worked on. I'm stitching this with one strand of DMC 310 on 32 count. It is so big. It is huge. So I really need to finish this. Oh my God, it's so big. It's gorgeous though. I love it. I just don't like working on it that much because it feels so delicate to stitch with one strand on a very loose weaved 32 count. But it looks so cool. Like, it looks antique, you know, it does give it such a delicate look. I know this might throw some of you into a coma with the fact that you can see the X's so clearly, but I would do the same thing. If I could restart this, if I could go back in time, I wouldn't change my choice. I love it. I am sitting at 62.5% complete on this. I still have about 11,000 stitches left. And a lot of that is just border and the big center vase at the bottom. So it's doable, but I'm not going to give myself a hernia trying to finish it this year. This next WIP, this is a new start that I had this year, which was it's a sad start, but this is one of my favorite new designers of this year. If you like wacky, beautiful, weird, kind of, I don't want to even like put it in a box. It is so, all of their designs are so good. This is by Jed X Stitch on Instagram. Go please check out their Instagram. If you like my color conversions and the things I do with color, you are going to love their Instagram. I'm obsessed with every color palette that they have going on. They're currently still they're designing new things. They're stitching those things and haven't released some of those things yet. And I'm just like, I cannot wait to get my hands on some of these things. This is their sampler. It's called Dragonborn. It is a sampler after one of my favorite video games of all time, Skyrim. It's so gorgeous on its own. Like, even if you didn't know what it was from, it's a gorgeous sampler. And I started this on a piece of Bestitch Me, I think it's Boneyard or something. I don't remember. I think it's Boneyard. And that is the very small start I have on it. I'm sitting at 6.7%, so I'll definitely get this to 10% very easily this year. I started it March 29th, and I have about 6,600 stitches left on this. I am stitching it with a beautiful over-dyed cotton in the color Edgar by Dyeing for Sass. Ugh. And this is like a 25-yard skein of it. I need to work on this so much. I am a nerd. I love Skyrim. I just got into Dungeons and Dragons. I just love all the things. This is one of my older WIPs. This I started on September 30th of 2022. This is called Nadia by Night Spirit Studio. It's from the show What We Do in the Shadows, and I'm stitching this on 18 count. Hold on. Let's get it behind something. Let's get something behind it. Hello. I switch around my words a lot. Okay, this is sitting at 25.3%, and it's stitched on 18 count black Ada with the called for. This was on her Patreon. I don't know if it's available. And it seems like I'd be close to having this finished, but there's so much of this maroon color to like make this look more like a 3D, a neon sign. But I have contemplated. What if I rip all of those out and just do the red and finish this and call it a day? What if I do that though? Because then I would only have to finish the A, the apostrophe, and the S with the red, and then finish out this N with the blood drip, and then I could just rip out. What if I did that? I want this done. Okay, I think I might do that. If you disagree with my choice, don't, because I want it done. And I think that while it will not give the exact same effect, like this bright, this is, you know, DMC 666 on black, like I think this still gives the feel of, you know, whatever, you get it. And if you don't, you don't. It's fine. Another one of my WIPs from last year, this I started January 2nd of 2023. This is called Pumpkin King by Mama Witch X Stitch. I'm stitching this on 32 count, like raw linen, natural linen, whatever, by Zweigart, and it looks so good. So good. Okay, the next WIP I'm going to show you, this is another Night Spirit Studio pattern on the same piece of 32 count natural raw linen. This is called Unexpected Visitors. I started this January 2nd of 2023 as well, and I'm at 15.9% complete on this. Which the Pumpkin King one I just showed you, I'm at 16.3%, so I'm around the same amount of progress into these. Stitching this with the called for DMC 2/2. Okay, these WIPs are, I'm going to show you them at the same time because like they're part of the same series. This is the Woodcut series by Night Spirit Studio. This one I started June 11th of 2023. This is the Witches and Demons Woodcut one. I'm at 43.6% complete on this. I'm stitching this on 28 count raw natural linen, and I'm doing it 2/110 stitch. So it looks, I wanted it to look like a woodcut, like a, you know, I think it's such a good, I love these. I'm doing them all like this on the same fabric, 2/110 stitch. And then this one I started on January 2nd. This is called Farmer's Free Fall, and I'm sitting at 37.2% on this one. I just love how this little city came together. Like, it's so fun because these two are like obviously completely different. Like a lot of this has more like black like chunks of stitching, and when you're stitching it, it looks like nothing until you get, you know, to a certain point. And with this one, like this was just random lines of stitching that eventually made this little scene, and it's so precious. I love them. I love them so much. I am making myself finish both of these before I start another one, but I own all of them. Like, I'm obsessed with this series, so those will be done this year. I am very motivated to get those done. All right, this is also a WIP that I just started this year. This is the Nostalgic Tarot card series that the Witchy Stitcher is doing on her Patreon. I'm stitching this on 16 count black Ada. This one is called The Lovers. and I am not very far. I'm at 7.1% complete. I started this April 10th of this year, and I have about 5,000 stitches left. It's a lot of color changing, so it's not like the fastest thing to stitch on, but it is very fun and bright, and I do like it quite a bit. So that is that. And then my next WIP, this is also one I started this year. This is called Secret Garden by Hello from Liz Matthews. This was a Patreon release in April. I started this April 20th, and it's a very small start, but it's very cute. I'm sitting at 4.9% complete. I'm stitching it in the muted colorway. She released this with 2 different colorway options, and I'm stitching this on 40 count Atomic Ranch linen in the colorway Copper or Old Penny or something like that. I can't remember. It's very pretty. I was contemplating starting a study in nature by the Artsy Housewife on this, because it would be beautiful, but I don't know. I can't decide between this like rusty orange or the bright lipstick red, so it's so cute. I need to pull this back out. This next WIP is sitting in a Christmas project bag that I made myself. This is Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery's Christmas Wreath. I started this December 13th of 2023. I'm stitching it on 28 count Lugana from Bestitch Me in the colorway Hot Cocoa, and I'm exactly at 10.1% complete on this. Oh, it's so cute. Stitching it with the called for mostly DMC, and yeah, 2/2. I'm definitely gonna pull this out in November. I really don't like stitching on Christmas stuff until October 31st at 11:59 p.m. Like, that's just is how it is. Keeping with Christmas, oh, that kind of was stuck. This is We Santa 2022 by Heart and Hand, and I started this October 30th of 2023. I'm stitching this on 20 count Vintage Country Mocha, and that is all I've gotten to. I'm doing the DMC and like 1 of the overdyes or 2 overdyes. This will be a very quick finish in November, I'm sure, but I just haven't worked on it since then. This next WIP, this is my Carolyn Manning start for this May when we did Manning May. This is 10,000 Lakes with a custom color conversion by myself. And this is stitched on 20 count Cappuccino Ada from Fiber on a Whim. I'm at 7.8% complete, and these are the DMC. Stitching this for my dad as a gift. It looks great. 1 strand over 1 square. I will definitely get this back out this year and get it at least to 10%. Oh, here's one of my old WIPs. This is from 2022, I believe. Yeah, October 31st, 2022 is my Halloween start. This is Black Cats and Spooky Bats by Park Hopper Bart. I'm stitching this on 40 count Peanut Brittle by Roxy Floss Co. And I'm stitching it with the called for Roxy Floss Co. threads. And this is where I'm at. I'm at 30.2% complete on this. I have about 3,500 stitches left. It's so pretty. I'm definitely gonna pull this out very soon. I love this Peanut Brittle. I want to stitch, I think, the Lottie Daws, Miss Mary Mac, and the one I just got, the Witch one, the big skirt witch. I want to stitch them both. I have more of this in my stash, so I'd like to do that. This next WIP, this is All Are Equal in Death by Modern Folk Embroidery. I started this October 1st of 2023, and this is sitting at 18.5% complete. I did work on this year, so. This is stitched on 36 count Earth by Fiber on a Whim with 2 things of Mosaic silk. It's so pretty. I love it. Okay, this is one of my favorite project bags. And in this, I have, it's kind of always a mystery, isn't it? No. This is The Pumpkin House by Hello from Liz Matthews. I am stitching the bottom part on, I believe, Milk and Honey, or no, Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim and 36 count, and this is what I have done. I definitely worked on this to get it to 10%. I think, yes, I'm at 10.1% complete on this. And I started this September 19th of last year. So it looks wonderful. Can't wait to get the bottom section done. The top section I'm going to be stitching in this Topaz 36 count by Fiber on a Whim. So that'll look awesome. And I am stitching this with the Tiger Lily custom conversion by Forbidden Fiber Co. And that's the little card for it. These, it's just like, it's very true to this. It's just a little bit pumped up. This next WIP I'm going to show you, this is the Deadly Aquarium Stitch Along by Lola Crow. I don't have my percentage I'm at because it's an ongoing stitch along. I hope that we're like getting to 50% or we're at 50%. I am 1 part behind, but this is what it looks like so far. This is stitched on a 32 count piece of linen by Mystic Fabrics. Hello, I don't know. In the color Dreamy. And first of all, I just want to say shout out to the people that have been so nice about this WIP. I've gotten quite a few comments on my videos, Instagram, and in real life of how gorgeous this looks on this fabric. I mean, and I think that's just a testament to this fabric and also the colors that Lola Crow picks out. So it is honest. Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. It looks awesome. The last part that I just completed are these fish, and I love them. So the next part is Killer Coral that's in this section. So I definitely need to work on that. Okay, my next WIP, this is in a bag that I did finally find. If you saw my last video, I had lost one of the bags I had from StitchCon. This was made by Natasha from Britches Get Stitches for me. It's very lovely. Thank you, Natasha. And this is a start that I had at StitchCon that I did not talk about in my last video. This is Needle Heathen Biscornu by Bendy Stitchy. Yeah, I started this June 8th of 2024. And I don't have my progress on it, but Bendy Stitchy, Michelle does put the total amount of stitches on here. So it only has about 1,900 stitches, which is awesome. This is stitched on a piece of 32 count dark cobblestone Lugana, I think just by Zweigart. And that is where I've gotten to. And you know, now that I'm thinking about it, is this the right way? Sure isn't. All right, so that's my start. I'm stitching this with 2 colors of Color and Cotton and 1 Classic Colorworks that I just picked from Stash. It's literally just 3 colors, so you can choose whatever you want. All right, my next WIP, this is for some reason in this bag. This is one of my favorite bags. This was gifted to me by Sheba Designs. It's so cute. It's got little pink spiders and spider webs and things. This is one of my oldest WIPs. It's Mary Morgan's by Fox and Rabbit. I started this March 8th of 2022. I am sitting at 61.6% complete, and I'm stitching this on 40 count platinum by Zweigart. It's so beautiful. I brought this to StitchCon just to show. Didn't stitch on it, but I am stuck in Rose Island at the moment, but I am slowly getting my way out of it, and I'm excited to have this done. I wanted to get this done this year. I don't think that's realistic, but we'll see. We still have half a year left, so it's so pretty. This was one of my impromptu starts for the Strawberry Moon Sal that my friend Marjorie put on this year in June. This is Strawberry Goose Witch by Fine Frog Stitching. I started this June 11th, 2024, and I'm sitting at 8.9% complete. And that is where it's at. This is stitched on 14 count Pistachio Ada by Fiber and a Whim with 2 strands called for DMC. It looks so good. Again, I just stitched on this for like one night, so it needs to be worked on, but I'm glad that I at least got one start in for the Strawberry Moon Sow. I had all these plans. They were all in this bag that's filled to the brim, but those plans just didn't happen, and that's okay. So this is a new start that I started right after StitchCon. This is My Sister's Samplers Ann Hansen. I kitted this up at StitchCon with my friend Marjorie. This I started on June 17th, 2024. And I have a very sad start on it, unfortunately. But I'm doing it with the called for silks. Came with a thread pack, or I bought the thread pack. And this is Fiber on a Whim Moonstone in 40 count. So yeah, as much as I'd love to get this to 10% this year, that's gonna take like a lot of stitching. So this WIP I started with my friend Marjorie as well. This is called Two Birds by Modern Folk Embroidery. We started it December 29th of 2023, and that is where I'm at. I'm at 13.4% complete. I'm stitching it on 18 count Peach of My Heart Ada by Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. This was given to me by Alexis from Alexis_My Amazing World. And yeah, I have about 6,700 stitches left on it. I'm stitching it with a color and cotton thread called Fiesta. And it's gorge. I do love this. Love some pink on pink. I think I only have like 2 WIPs left to show you. I think. We'll double check at the end, but this is my Sarah Moon by Stitchy Box Samplers. I started this November 27th, 2023. I pull it out on the full moon of every month with a couple of my gal pals, and I'm stitching this on 40 count Wild Mint Linen by Atomic Ranch. And this is sitting at 17.2% complete. And it is huge and gorgeous, and this is where I worked on it last. It looks so good. I converted, or my friend Bridget charted this quote for me from Haunting of Hill House, and I am doing this with a custom color conversion that I have on my Instagram if you're interested. I will say, unfortunately, this pattern is illegible, borderline illegible. It's some of the symbols are like very faint and hard to distinguish. So I did a lot of manual labor in markup to fix it, but I mean, it took a long time. I bought the PDF. One of my friends bought the printed out version from them, and it was also very hard to see. So they need to fix that. Okay, so this is the last WIP I'm gonna show you, and I personally feel that I saved the best for last. This has been my focus piece for the entire year. I have made the most progress on this piece by far. This is the Vanity Sampler by Hello from Liz Matthews. And if you have watched this channel before, you will probably know that I did a custom color conversion for this, and DMC, I call it the Victorian Goth color conversion. It is on my Instagram. And I can't wait to show you this. I love it. First, here, let me show you the DMC. I should probably show them every time, but this is my color conversion. Starting to see how much DMC I've used. And I'm gonna show you my progress. It's so good. It's so pretty. I love it. So I'm stitching this on 36 count brown sugar by Fiber on a Whim. And I have stitched approximately 1,600 stitches or so every single month so far this year. And the past 2 months, I honed in on this border, and it is done. The border is completely done. So this month, I get to rejoice in not having to stitch that border ever again. I'm going to finish out this border right here, and then I'm going to start stitching some fun motifs. And I can't wait. I'm stitching this with 1 strand of DMC over 2. That's my preferred 36 count method. Oh, it looks so good. I am stitching this with my friend Bridgen, the museum stitcher. She also she's been keeping up every month. She is stitching it on a beautiful piece of XJU Designs linen, and she's using my DMC conversion. I believe she's stitching on the words right now. So she started in the middle and I started at the top. So if you're interested, go check out her latest video to see her progress. But I'm so happy. Let's talk about stats on this one for sure. So this one I started on May 20th of 2023. I am at 52.4% complete, and I have about 10,600 stitches left, which is amazing. At the start of this year, I definitely had like, I think 22,000 stitches left. It has been so fun to stitch on this with a friend, and like, we've been obviously encouraging each other. Yeah, no, the total stitch count for this is 22,405 stitches. So, this year, I believe I stitched, how much have I stitched so far? I've stitched so far 11,748 stitches. Most of that was this year. The most I stitched in one day on this was 1,465 stitches, which is crazy that I did that much in one day, but I've stitched on it for a total of 38 days this year. No, wait, 38 days total and then 25 days this year. That is so fun. I love Notion. Anyways, that's my shout out to Notion, but I wanted to give like more detailed stats on this because this has been like my big monthly project. So next year, this will be done by December. And next year I am hoping to do the same thing with my Beatrix Potter. It's so motivating to have one big focus piece for the entire year. And so I'll probably have the same amount of stitches on Beatrix Potter next year, about 1,600 to 1,500 stitches every month, which is so doable. So I am just absolutely jazzed about my progress on that. That is it. I am not going to take you through the finishes or anything I've done this year. I think I will save that for the end of the year. I have not been finishing as much as I did last year, but I've also been starting less than I did last year, believe it or not. This year has taught me a lot, I think, so far. Like, I can't do a no starts year, but what I have learned is I've been definitely more mindful of what I've been starting and paying more attention to progress. I've been playing around with different ways that I choose what I work on this year. It's been really fun. And I just, yeah, I've been loving it. Okay, just some like wrap up stats if you're interested. So far this year, I have finished 8 WIPs. So some of those were WIPs, some of those were, you know, starts and finishes. But of those finishes I've had this year, I did about 20,000 stitches altogether on all of just my finished things of this year. And then on my WIPs that I've worked on this year so far, I have stitched 60,000 stitches, a little bit over 60,000 stitches, which is crazy pants. I love it. I have so far stitched on 44 of my WIPs, which I think is great. I think that's a decent number considering how many WIPs I have. So my final WIP count as of July 3rd of 2024, I have 63 WIPs, which, if I'm guessing and remembering correctly, I think I'm like around the same that I started with, which is not like super good, but at the same time, I have not been starting as much this year. To put it in perspective, I think by like March of last year, I had started over 20 things. And so far, I've only started, I think, 18 things this year. That's actually not true. It's definitely more than 18, but I've finished some of those. So I don't know. I think it's also, I have started, a lot of those were the days of Christmas, which I kind of count as one WIP, if that makes sense. And you know, it is what it is, but all that to say, I feel like those are some like interesting stats. I do want to say just a big thank you to all of you that watch and like and subscribe and all of the things. It's been such a fun journey. I got to meet almost all of my close friends that I've met on Flosstube in person this year. And I can't wait to keep seeing them and planning trips to see them and meeting you guys at retreats and things and whatnot that come up in the future. I am now over 4,000 subscribers. There are 4,000 of you that watch me, and well, there's more than that. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. But it's just been, it's been so lovely. I'm not gonna go on and on because this video's already, I've been filming for 2 hours. So I'm gonna leave you there. I am excited to show you more and get more progress, but for now, I will leave you with that. And I'm gonna say what I always say, which is, bye, baby.